Hey guys, it's Chris once again with a new review. This time it is a 2018 Hyundai Tucson SEL 2.0 liter front wheel drive. Just like the Kia behind it, it has the same exact engine because Hyundai and Kia are the same parent company, or of the same company. So this is a four-door. It has the 16s, no, these are 17-inch aluminum rims, four-wheel disc brakes. So it has the same similar key setup. We'll start in the back seats here. The interior is, I guess, the only color they have. It's like a cream tan. And it has the safety belts for the center seat hanging out of the ceiling. Just like the Kia, it has the center cup holder slash armrest, and you have the latch belt system. The seats are 60/40 fold down. The front seat is power. I'm a 6-foot guy, and I have, plenty of leg room. I can even put my feet underneath. And my head isn't even hitting yet. So, same thing. 4 no bars. I guess if you have to grab them to hold on, you're not driving very good. Center console, glove box, same type of stereo for the new systems with the AM, FM, XM. This one does not have the Blue Link system. There are bottle holders in the door of each of the each door has a bottle holder. The front has 2 cup holders, a change. I'll go over those in a second. There are pockets behind the seats. There's airbags on the side, side curtain, pillar post, driver's side and passenger side curtain airbags. Of course, the front airbags for each one, and it doesn't. I don't know if it has the pillar or whatever it's called, the one for your legs. Let's take a look at the trunk. So this trunk is a lot larger because this is classified as an SUV, not a CUV like the Kia, and the pollen is a little bit less today, so you can actually see things without little dust particles blowing around like my other video. This one does have a carpeted Tucson cargo mat, and it does have an actual spare tire. It looks like a full-size spare to me, not a donut. Either that or it's just a big donut. It also has a first aid kit, I guess, in case you get injured and you can make it to your trunk. In the trunk here, there's also this thing pops off. You can store crap in it. It has a little latch system when you want to put the cargo net in. It also has a 180-watt 12-volt outlet. Behind this little thing is like your toolkit. There's a jack down here with a little tow hooks. The tow hooks, I don't like this idea, but there's these round things on your bumpers. There's one in the front, there's one in the back, there's one on my Kia right there. And you can screw these eye holes in and they can put tow ropes on them if you ever needed to do that. It does come with roadside maintenance. And what looks to me like how my Kia has that top cargo cover, there's something here that this would click into. I don't know what that's for. There's nothing up here. There's a rubber thing that goes in here. So I haven't figured that out. If maybe the top model has it. Apparently there's like several different trim models for this this Tucson. We didn't get the power lift trunk, but it's the same. Just shove it down. Oh, it does have a backup camera. This one is underneath the lip where the other one was quite visible. Opening up all the doors, you see it's a pretty nice vehicle. So there's plenty of room for adults, kids. 5-star safety rating. This one has the embroidered sill plates. It also has embroidered floor mats. For the interior, you have pretty comfortable seats actually. The driver's side is all power. Glove box in this is a lot smaller than the other vehicles, but you know, it's pretty deep. Your standard controls of air vents, power locks, and a window control. The bottle holder, climate controls. The center infotainment system is very similar to most other Hyundais and Kia models with the infotainment satellite radio system. We'll go over that in a minute. Your mirror here has a standard mirror and a, let me see if I am zoomed out all the way, apologies, a standard little light for luminescence. The cool thing I do like about these cars is this. If you're on a sunny day, it's very sunny right now, I can take this, slide this over, and if this isn't enough room and I'm getting some glare out here, you can just pull this and it extends your sun visor so you're not like having to lean forward, and it clicks back in place and up it goes. These seem like a pleather kind of wrapping. There's a sunglass holder, which is perfect for a garage door opener. You can put that in there. It has the standard dome-like controls. You can have them on the door, so if I was done and the car is locked, they will turn off. You can have them on, of course. You can have them off off totally, or open with the door, and of course you can touch them and get them to come on when the car is on. Gear shifter is the 6-speed automatic with the sport mode, where you can manually shift it into and all of the gears except reverse, all of the forward gears. Drive mode we will go over in a moment, but it is the same for economy, power, and normal, which changes the shift points of the transmission to get the maximum fuel economy or the maximum RPM performance based on your preference. This is a hill start descent, or hill start assist, or hill mode, where you can push this button. It will use trans braking to slow the car down so you don't have to wear your brakes out, or it assists you by decelerating through the transmission lower gear. It has heated seats, a front and rear defroster, recirculation, air conditioning. It does not have a climate control system where you can set a temperature. It does have a standard fan and thermostat controls here, with AC being a click, or you can have it cool and press the air conditioning button. Standard hazards. The passenger airbag is normally off. Let me switch seats here. And it has the little tiny antenna roof rails. I know it's a little bright out here, but I wanted to get some good sunlight for this. So I'm gonna start this up and turn the air conditioning on because it is very warm. You have a systems check on the dashboard. I'm gonna turn the air on low. So the dashboard is a pretty standard layout. You have a turning signal, cruise control. These are your off headlights, and automatic mode. Excuse me, automatic mode, where you can the automatic headlights. So it'll have a daytime running light that will turn on, or you can turn them on totally and it gives you a light. If I were to flick this switch, you'll see another one for the fog lights. So if I turn them off, so I'm on auto now, there's a sensor right here on the dash, that little knob right there, that detects the daylight. So you can leave them on auto. As it gets dusk, you're driving what they call daytime running lights, which are a LED light underneath of your headlamp, will illuminate for like a daytime running light kind of thing. These are of course parking lights, where you see the parking light and then the headlight is on with the same button, so you can be notified that your headlights are on if you don't have it in automatic mode. Flipping the switch, there's a switch here and a switch in the back. It's weird, like you can flick it from either side to turn the driving lights on. So I just leave them on. We can just turn this off manually, and as you use the headlights, it'll go from headlights back to your standard display, which is all part of this super duper steering wheel. Of course, you have your controls for your audio, and this car is equipped with Android CarPlay and Apple CarPlay, so you can plug a USB cable in. This is a little longer of a cable, and then you can plug your phone in, and this will show that it is connected to a phone. There's the CarPlay logo, and then CarPlay and the maps light up for navigation. But back to the steering wheel here in the center console. This side would be for, of course, your stereo controls, volume up, volume down, a push click for mute. This is your hands-free / I call it the Siri button, or it will be your OK Google button. Or you can just talk, "Hey Siri, what time is it in Australia?"
The time in Canberra, Australia is 6:59 a.m.
Thanks. So you can use your own "Hey you know who," or I can press this button. What time is it in London, England?
The time in London, England is 9:59 p.m.
Cheers. So that's what's nice when you're driving. You do not have to actually take your hands off the wheel to communicate via text, or you can have it read your email or whatever. So the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto are very similar in functionality. With the new iOS update, you are able to use Google Maps versus Apple Maps if you so choose to. It has a wireless capability, so you can tether it to your house or a hotspot or even your phone. You can do Bluetooth. It will transfer your address book. If you choose not to connect it with the wire, like say you were going to listen to some music and you had a thumb drive in here, you could use the built-in voice system, which is total garbage. I don't recommend using it at all. I don't understand its vernacular. It's very picky on what it answers to. And if you want, I can give you an example of that. So we're going to unplug my phone. Okay, now I'm just going to press the button and listen to this.
Please say a command.
Turn on the radio.
The audio system is currently off. Please turn on the audio system and try the command again.
Can you turn the audio system on?
Sorry, I didn't.
What time is it?
There are no external devices to play music.
I didn't ask you to play music. So as you can see, you're going to get more aggravated talking to this car without your iPhone plugged in or your Android device plugged in. So back to our center console. We've done this. The mode buttons here will basically take you in the audio system through the different functions. Apple CarPlay, the radio, Sirius XM, AM, FM, whatever you want. Currently, I don't know why it's on 106.5, but currently it is whatever's plugged in. If you have USB will be an option. All of these are accessible on the mode button through the setup feature based on what you have plugged in. You can toggle what you want it to go through on mode. The right side here are more controls of this center menu. So if I were to click this button on the steering wheel next to the cruise control, so we'll forget the cruise control. We all know what cruise control is. Cancel, resume, set cruise. So this switch right here toggles these 4 selection dots over here. The top will be your current range. This car has 104 miles on it. It's not 76 degrees outside. And if I click it again, it'll tell me my average fuel economy sitting here doing nothing but running the air conditioning and not moving is 12.7 miles per gallon. It has a full tank of gas. We just picked it up. The next window is your current trip of a whopping 9 miles driven. And it has had running time of 1 hour and 11 minutes, 104 miles. And then you can go and press it. Oops, wait a minute. I screwed something up. Okay, you press it again, it'll be trip B. And then you have a digital speedometer to assist you in case you don't know how to read an analog gauge. I don't know. So then if you press the contextual menu button here, this will switch the top. So right now I'm on the let's go to the top here, the range. So I'm on section 1 of this area. If I press this again, you will see XM radio and the channel I am on. 33, first wave. I don't know how this is useful. I guess you could turn the volume up and listen to some music. I don't want to keep it running too long. I don't want any copyright strikes. And then that's the only function. There is no up or down on radio. The next one is your service. Apparently in 6,000 miles or a year, based on our current driving of 104 miles, we get service. I can click this up, and if I drive, it'll tell me the PSI in each tire and when to get air in them. Pressing the contextual menu again will take us to the setup, where you have many functions of different things. So you have to press OK, and you can tell it to automatically unlock the door when you put it in park, or when you get to a certain mile per hour, or disable. You can also auto unlock the door on a double press, or lock the door when the car goes in park, or unlock, I mean. So right now the doors are locked. Let's put it in reverse. Door's just locked. So there we go. All right. Park, the door's just unlocked. And it showed me, watch this, it shows you're in reverse, then it shows you park. So that's just while I'm in the setup. Now, as far as lights, one touch turn. Now, what is one touch turn? Let me cancel this. If I'm driving, and like an old car, if you click and it clicks down, of course your turning signal comes on. In a modern car, you can touch this and it will blink normally 3 times. I've set this to 5. You just touch it, watch. Automatic or right, touch. Good for highway driving and traffic versus having to click this thing all the time. Click it down, click it up, click it down, forget it's on. It's a quick, I'm getting over, and there you go. But in the setup option here, you can turn it on for off, 3, 5, 7 flashes. The default is 3, so I just set it on 5 because that's better, because I have 3 in the Kia Soul, and sometimes it's just not enough. So 5 is perfect. There's a headlamp delay. You can turn off or on. It was set to on. And then there's a service interval where you set the mileage. My Kia is at 7,500 because this runs off pure synthetic 5W20, or 12 months, whichever comes first, I guess. I don't get a year out of oil changes. Usually I get a couple months. But right now it's at default of 12 months. I'll see how it goes as this vehicle's driven. Other features, you can do a fuel economy. You can set it for automatic, or resetting automatically when you fill up. Your steering position. Oops. So this car has 2 key fobs. Wiper lights. You can have it display on the thing. Automatic rear wiper. If your front wipers are on, the rear wiper will come on also, which is the same here. It is mist up. Then you have your intermittent, and then this is the intensity, like fast or slow, and low or high. This is a push to wash, and this is a flick for the rear wiper. And it says the rear wiper is currently on low. If I chose that option to turn the rear wiper on, whenever the front wipers are on, the back would wipe too. Sometimes that's not necessary. Not necessary. The fuel economy unit you can do in gallons, or the UK gallon. I don't know what a UK gallon is. If anybody's out there, what is a UK gallon in comparison to a US gallon? I guess I could look it up, but I'm sitting in a car doing a video. Temperature unit, you can do Celsius, Fahrenheit. Of course, here in the States, us colonists do Fahrenheit. Tire pressure unit, you can do PSI, you can do bar, KPA. We're American, we're doing PSI. Gear position, pop-up, that's what I showed you earlier when I put it in park. And that is it for other features. Reset your settings to default. So, with that, we can go back to the main unit. and focus on these other buttons over here. This here is traction control off. This is the luminescence position of said brightness of your dashboard display. Maximum. I usually do 1 tick off of max. Your fuse box is here. Standard brake and weird gas pedal. Of course, you have your blower motor. Nothing is displayed on the screen. It's just buttons. A heated seat. The heated seats come on full blast first, and they really get your butt and lower back hot. Medium, low, off. Same thing for passenger side. It always starts out on high, medium, low, off. Air conditioning, if this is on this, it is automatic air conditioning, automatic recirc. If I move the dial just to below air conditioning, you see the little sweet spot. Just below it, you can actually turn the air off and just have cool air. But it's hot. These, of course, are the positions of the air vents. Of course, face, mix mode, floor, and defrost and floor. Now, if... Whew, man, my seat got real hot. Now, if you are... It is wintertime, and there is some snow. This has heated mirrors. They will work apparently only on the rear defroster. The Kia will work on front or rear. It will heat up the mirrors and do it. It's a very similar system with the steering wheel, and everything is the same as my Kia. Even the layout and functionality of the mirror left and right. Mine is more of a pod. The lock and unlock with the rear prevention of button pressing for kids safety. Automatic driver only window. Of course they're all power, but 1 touch down for driver only, 1 touch up. The passenger is just the same, push and hold. Same with the back. There's a 6-speaker sound system. Big speakers in the door, small tweeter, same big speakers in the back door here. Nothing in the trunk, but it sounds really good. Infotainment system. This is Hyundai and Kia's new standard system for the middle of the road and higher models. The top model Tucson has a navigation system which has a little SD card slot up here in black. But with the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you don't need that, because you don't need to worry about map updates. You're using your phone. I think every human being on Earth just about has a phone, so you can use that for navigation. Now, the menu system, because this does not have the blue link, is a little bit less than my other video, but you have very similar buttons for control. You can either touch the stereo unit to see what you're playing. Like I want to play Utopia or whatever, 80s, 90s, so I'm going to leave it on first wave. Now, if I was on the home screen here, I can also press the physical radio button to get to the same thing. Seek, track up, track down. The setup button, the phone thing for, of course, the different things. You're going to see my Hyundai on there because it's from my car. It will return you to the same home screen. So I have my Pandora and my Sirius XM from my car. Of course, now playing would be what is playing on my phone. I think it was Quiet Riot. My messages, my apps, my music, and of course phone, all which are accessible from the left pod on the steering wheel. Now, media here, if I press the media button, this is where you're going to see your Android Auto if you have an Android device currently plugged in, Apple CarPlay, USB music, the 3.5mm auxiliary here, and Bluetooth audio for your wireless tethering. It does not do Siri or Google responses in Bluetooth. It is only phone and music, and that's it. A neat feature of the Tucson is this little star button. This star button is totally customizable in the setup feature. Currently ours is to turn the screen off. Right now it's with a digital clock. It's not Sunday, July 26, 2015. Wow, this is the future. That's funny. Today's date is June, It's 5:13 Thursday, June 14th. So this car thinks it's the future. And you can press the star and bring your button back on, close. So now that was my phone. I'm going to go into setup. Setup does the same as all Hyundai and Kia models. You have a sound menu, which is the position of your spatial dispersion, where you want to focus the sound. Volume levels, which is right now off. My media is 10. Voice is about a 19. Tone is equivalent to equalizer, where you can set the bass, the mid-range, and the treble, or you can zero it all out. You can have a priority, which means I will lower the volume when you throw it into reverse so you can concentrate on what you're doing. And there's a startup volume limit, so in case your kids or someone cranked up the radio and you get it in, you don't want to be scared to death when you start your car up with whatever you're listening to blaring instantly, it turns it down. There's an advanced function where you can press this speed dependent volume control. I have done this once on my vehicle. When the windows are down and you're driving, as wind noise creeps up, you're going to notice that you have to crank your stereo up. This does it for you automatically. It does not do a great job, so I just leave it off. And of course the beep button is exactly what it says, the beep. Display is of course the brightness, illumination, and the default levels of this display. Right now it's on automatic. When you click illumination, you can choose the brightness level for night or day. Daylight is currently at 0. Night, this is an example of what it looks like at night, and you can see it gets brighter when I press day. At night, sometimes you can crank it down. It doesn't matter. We'll leave it on default, and you can crank it up. I don't notice any difference between, well, I notice a tiny bit of difference between 0 and 5. And that's the display. And of course, there's always a button here for display off, date and time. So, wow, look, we're in the future. So we're going to set this back. It's June 14th. Oh, wow, look. 2015. That's crazy. 5:16 p.m. Is this daylight saving time? No, we're on standard time. Back. Okay, now our clock is correct. Funny, nobody ever noticed that. This is the thing for the custom button, little star button. You can have it to your phone projection, your XM radio, which you already have access to, your My Menu, which is on the touchscreen, Bluetooth, which is on the touchscreen, nothing, or display on or off, which is the only real usable function of it. Voice recognition, as you saw in my demonstration, totally sucks. The home screen, you can customize the layout and of this, so you can make this the way you want it with your own buttons. There are so limited on buttons on this model. Maybe the top dog has more with navigation and things, but you know, maps work. Everything's right here. It'll go into maps. Here's an overview. I'm not zooming in so you don't know exactly where I live, but if I press this little guy, it'll fire right in, but I'm going to keep it out. So there we are. We're in south central Pennsylvania, and if I zoom in, of course, you're going to see more roads come in, but the navigation works wonderful. Pandora should work. If I press Pandora, it should load my Pandora and start playing. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. I guess not. This is my Sirius XM. It's probably just going to launch the one here. Whoops. Set up. So, oops. Okay, our second screen is language. Of course, you have multiple languages. The screensaver, your keyboard, the current system information level, I guess for a firmware update. Your screensaver is 3 choices: an analog clock, a digital clock, or nothing. When you actually choose nothing, it is turned off, like it is off. There's nothing on the screen. It's totally off. Digital clock, of course, is a digital clock. Analog clock is an analog clock. So if you have it on analog or digital and you're back at home, you can press and hold the volume and it will also turn off. that's about it for that. The center console here, of course, 180 watt, both sides. I only have 120 in mine. Dual 180 watt, 12 volt flip out adapters. The gear shifter, a coin little purse. We went over this. These other two slots are for your more advanced features of like some weird traction control and whatever. The cup holders have these little grippy things in them to adjust for different size cups. So if you have a small cup, the grippy things automatically hold it, and if you have a larger cup, they will recess in. And there's one on the bottom and one on the top, one down here, one up here, or it's like a rocker, and it's a little spot in between. Some more coin storage, I guess a good spot for your phone. All of these rubber mats are removable, so you can just like take them out and clean them if they get crusty, or wipe them out for cleaning. It's good. I don't like them when they glue them in, but it's still really grippy. It's not going anywhere. And the center console here has a little rack for junk or whatever. This is removable, and it's a pretty deep, storage area. And of course, has a little bump up, and this is movable to 3 positions. I think 1, 2, and whoops, 3. Did I even get that in there right? I don't know. And it click locks. So the camera feature, it has a reverse camera, which we spoke of earlier. So if I put this in reverse, like my camera, you're like, oh, awesome. It's a 6 foot, a 3 foot, and a 1 foot. But what happens on this model, since this car was much more than my little Kia, if I am to turn the wheel, it'll show me the direction that my car is going to go in as I turn. Isn't that awesome? If I turn the other way, it'll turn the other way. Now I straighten out. And we're moving again. This car is much more quiet than the test drive we did on the actual Kia, because the road noise is much less. It has way better, I guess you'd say, undercoating and whatever in the engine compartment, which we shall check out. The hood release is the same exact location, pull, but unfortunately this model does not have the little shock struts like the blue car did. It has, the annoying prop rod. Oi. So this engine is the exact same engine as my Kia. It's a 2.0 liter gas direct injection with that lovely hard plastic intake manifold. When we pick this one up, it looks like somebody went 4-wheeling with it. I still have to get this off. I have sprayed it, but there's a pan underneath the whole car that protects the drivetrain, but apparently not from super duper splashes. So whoever transported this car, I would like you to come by so I can punch you right in the face for messing up a beautiful brand new vehicle with mud beyond belief. That's it. Standard features. It does have a really cool air filter element. You just basically pull this, and it's like a little toner cartridge. You click this down, and grab the center, and it literally comes right out. And there's your air cleaner. This is the factory one. Like I said, it only has 100 miles on it, so there's nothing on it. But I like that. That's neat. And it does lock in place. You can't pull it out. And then it has metal clicks. Once again, which I do not like, they put the PCM and the engine control modules right out here. Not my favorite. Fuel injection system, all this fancy schmancy stuff. You do not need to check the transmission fluid because there is no transmission fluid dipstick at all. There is a sight glass underneath the car, way down below all of the stuff, and I really don't care about that because this one will probably last forever. Standard engine oil dipstick, standard oil cap, 5W20. This is your coolant with this weird witch's brew looking antifreeze in it. I have the same ugly colored antifreeze. This is the windshield washer fluid, and just like my vehicle, for some reason this was just like this when I checked the hood. I don't know why they do that. Why? Hey, if you're a car salesman, or if anybody's a car salesman on here, why are these caps always left up? Is it a ventilation thing? I don't know. All the new cars we looked at, these caps are up. I thought people were just checking it. The Kia was the same way. This one too. It has a hole in it. I don't know why they're up. Maybe they're filling them and just forget to close them. Who knows? But that's this model. Oh look, Hyundai recommends Shell Helix or Quaker State motor oils. Well, guess what? Mobile One, baby. Here is the other round hole I was talking about for those two tools in the back for the toe straps. One for the back, one for the front. You have to pop this out. If you press down on this, you'll see it pops out. I'm not popping it out. And there's a threaded hole in there where you would insert this long bolt into, which goes right into the metal frame. It allows you to tow the car, so you don't have to get underneath and tow strap or whatever. It makes it more convenient. There is a super tiny horn right here, and it literally sounds like the Roadrunner. Meep meep. Here's the fog lights. They're standard halogen, yet they give you the fancy schmancy LED daytime running lights. I thought these were the fog lights. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I thought they were all LEDs. Nope, they are a bulb. Yet I got a HID projector for a headlight. Parking and a little tiny turning signal are standard halogen bulbs. Yet I got HIDs. Go figure. And they look weird. They're bright, but they don't look bright when you're looking at the headlamp. And of course it's plastic. Tires. Ouch. I think they're Kumos. Kumo Grudgeons. These are a 225 6017, which is pretty much standard. We have nice anodized metal for the brakes. Looks like about a 13 or so inch, 13 to 14 inch rotor, dual piston. You can tell because I got two bumps, and that's how I know. And the back are probably single piston, standard McPherson style strut. No mud flaps. You got one little kick panel in the back down there for mud, but it doesn't look like it's gonna fling as much for mine, because my Kia, you hit a puddle, your whole back's dirty. But this is pretty much it. 2018 Hyundai Tucson SEL 2-liter 6-speed automatic. And I hope this is a little bit of a review for you that you can relate to if you're interested in purchasing one of these. This car was $25 and some change. The paperwork is not in here, it's in the house. But it's got really nice rims on it, good tires. I've heard some complaints that they don't give you enough tires. These are over a 400 tire tread wear. I mean, they're pretty deep. It's up to my whole fingernail, so my whole crusty fingernail full is what you're gonna get. And let's see. Where is the tread wear? Where are you? Where are you? 440, right here. Treadwear 440. In correspondence to my van, which are super mud doggers. These are BF Goodrich tires. They are 660 for the van. But look at those hogs. They're yeah, not the quietest tire. They work. These are all season radial. I guess they're good. They'll last forever. Is that a bug? And the dealer we bought it from gives us free Pennsylvania inspections for life for all vehicles in our family. And I told the guy, I'm like, you know, I got a fleet, right? Dirt. And they were okay with that. So I'm not going to take this one on a test drive. It drives exactly the same as my little Kia back there. You can watch that in the other video. It's just a lot quieter. because it has, I guess, better insulation in the engine compartment, and it's a larger vehicle, so you're sitting back further. You're not right up in the engine, it's a little further up. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment. If you want to see me do any videos on anything else, let me know in the comment section. Thumbs up from me. Have a good day.